Hey everybody, POD7 here. I haven't streamed in a while, so I don't think many people are going to show up. But today is the Royal Rumble Marathon from New Legacy Inc., my boys. And I thought, hey, let's do a women's Royal Rumble. And of course, none of the 2K games have a women's Rumble, so I'm forced to settle for a tournament, unfortunately. So, uh, without any further ado, uh, basically these were all CAWs from 2K16 that I just had that I knew of. So decided I would just pick only those because I figured they're probably all 100 anyway, overall rating. Um, so there's probably not going to be very much. There's not going to be a large skill gap in between them like there would be between CAWs and characters that are in the game. So, uh, yeah, I did do a little bit of preparation because I'm a huge dork. So, um, let's go ahead and get to it. Becky Lynch and Manami Toyota. Oh, I can select arena. I didn't know that. Turn entrance on. Momentum normal. Do I still have the created arena? I think I made one for like a women's wrestling show, if I remember right. Yep, sure do. Don't even want to see the preview shot because I'm sure it's mortifying, but okay, here we go. So, there was a guy on Community Creations for 2K16. I'm not sure if I didn't get 2K17, so I don't know if he continued doing this, but this one guy, I think it was Thunderbird99 or something like that, he made every Japanese women's wrestler I ever heard of, pretty much, and a bunch that I never heard of. So that's like every single created wrestler I have on this game. I think I have Kenny Omega, Kurt Angle, and AJ Styles, and those are my only three male created wrestlers. All the rest are people from Stardom and Ice Ribbon, and of course the women that weren't included in this game for no reason. And this was also back before the word women was reinstated into WWE canon. They're still divas at this point, so you're going to see a lot of divas signs, and it's actually more annoying than you would think. Um, God, I forgot how long the load times are in this game. There's only two people in a match, and it's still taking this long on an Xbox One of all things. So I have my Xbox One wired in, and my laptop is on my display page. What is this arena? Anyway, there's no music. In case I decide to put this up on YouTube, I didn't want to get copyright stricken. So, uh, obviously, Becky Lynch, 30 years old with a 15-year career. She was the first ever WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. She seems to have the always the bridesmaid, never the bride kind of thing going, except for that one title reign. In NXT, she didn't get any reigns at all. What is 3XC? I saw that on the wide shot, and I was like, is that most extreme elimination challenge? Anyway, this is Manami Toyota, and for those that don't know anything about Japanese wrestling, they call her the Queen for a reason. She's 46 years old, and as of this year, it's her 30th goddamn year in her career wrestling. So she debuted at 16. A lot of people consider her the greatest wrestler of all time, of either gender. She was All Japan Women's Wrestling Champion, Joshi Pro Openweight Champion. I think she won an Oz Openweight title. But the thing she's most known for is she has 17 5-star Wrestling Observer matches between 91 and 95, which is unheard of. I think Shawn Michaels might have 15. That might be overestimating as well. So, for some reason, this this Manami Toyota created is a little tall, I think. I think I even had to edit her to be even shorter, so I don't know. Maybe Becky Lynch is really just that short. I think I must have been a fan of the CWC arena when I made this or something. The purple going on. Oh, did I change the difficulty setting? Uh-oh. I don't remember. Oh, this could be bad. Hopefully it turns out alright. And that is definitely not something Manami Toyota would do. At least in the last couple of years of her career anyway, from what I've seen. Maybe back in the mid-90s, she would have slapped her opponent to fire them up or something. They take her seriously. So I'm really excited. This is I guess this is kind of a mini Mae Young Classic, like a dream match Mae Young Classic. Really excited for that. I've avoided spoilers except for the ones that Kairi Sane has been retweeting on Twitter. So I know who won, obviously. I don't think it's a big shock, but still I'm looking forward to all the matches. It should be really good. Let's get into this match. Becky Lynch with a huge arm drag there. I don't think Becky Lynch did much in Japan, from what I remember. She was trained by Finn Balor, so she probably went there at least once. It would be kind of silly to assume that she didn't ever get there. That was a massive tiger suplex, by the way. Surprised she didn't bridge off of that pin. I was simming through the Universe matches while I was waiting to start this stream, and there was an Alexa Bliss versus AJ Lee match where Alexa Bliss just walked outside the ring and got a 10 count without doing anything. So I'm kind of worried about 2K16 right at this point, but we'll see what happens. Becky Lynch seems to be doing much better than I expected, considering the gap in experience. Of course, anybody going up against Manami Toyota is going to lack experience, especially in this tournament. With the fact that she's got literally half as much experience as Manami Toyota. At the same time, though, Becky Lynch started at 15, so she knows what it's like to start real early. And of course, it took many years on the independent circuit for Becky Lynch to start really getting noticed by WWE. Whereas Manami Toyota, from what I remember, it was pretty much from like the first or second show, people were already saying she had star power, and she pretty much got shot to the moon, kind of like Bull Nakano. A small 2 count there. You gotta pin your opponent here and there just to keep them on their toes, and you never know when you might get a lucky roll up. Questioning these golden things in the corner. Oh my god. Straight jacket suplex with a bridge. Toyota not playing games with Becky Lynch. Let's see what the Queen can do. Hurricane Rana out of nowhere. Oh my, already setting up. I'm kind of afraid to see what her finisher is in this game. It's definitely not the Victory Star drop, that's for sure. Becky with a massive scoop slam and a leg drop. referee getting in the way. It's another thing I noticed when I was simming matches earlier. The referees are constantly in the way. Becky with the Bexploder. Will she get the pin off of that? And will Manami Toyota fall to the Bexploder? No, absolutely not. I would have been actually very upset if that had happened, actually. I'm going to be very biased in these matches, by the way. I'm not controlling either character, so I don't have a control over the outcome. But I definitely have people that I want to continue into the tournament, so... I mean, if you saw at the beginning what the tournament bracket was, then you know, you can definitely see who I want to be facing off in the next round and in the finish, so... Ouch. That was a big old brain buster from Manami Toyota. 1, 2, ref was slow on the count there, but can't control that. Toyota taking a breath here. She is 30 years into her career, and unfortunately, she announced earlier this year, maybe late last year, that she's retiring November 3rd. And actually had designs ongoing to that show at one point, but things just didn't pan out. Various health circumstances. Massive Acai moonsault on the inside there. Manami's not done. She pays for it there with an arm drag. Becky Lynch trying to get back on top of the Queen, as they call her. And Becky Lynch now, pump handle, throwaway suplex. Got the count 1, 2, but no. Toyota will not give up that easily. Becky Lynch is going to have to do like 5 Canadian destroyers to Manami Toyota, I think. Saying that though, Becky Lynch still keeping up with Manami Toyota. This is in her prime, Manami Toyota, by the way. As you can tell from her outfit, if you look at her modern stuff, it's much more conservative. I don't think she's ever worn fishnets in like the last 5 years or something like that, so. It's kind of surprising, but Manami Toyota didn't actually wrestle in the United States until 2010. I think it was in a King of Trios tournament for Chikara Pro. So, 23 years into her career before she appeared in the United States. Just a nasty kick to the back by Becky Lynch. I thought it'd be interesting to put 2 fiery style, like massive fan favorite characters together in the first round. And Becky Lynch is basically that for WWE right now. And Manami Toyota, if you go back and watch like 94 specifically, Manami Toyota matches and the reactions she's getting from the crowd, it's like, it's nothing you've ever seen from WWE. Becky with the Bexploder once again. She didn't get the pin off of that, but Toyota might be out here. Becky dragging her to the ring, making sure she doesn't get a rope break. 1, 2. Oh my gosh. Manami Toyota kicked out of another Bexploder. Becky may have wanted to capitalize on that a little bit quicker. Here we go, the disarmer. That wrenching arm breaker there. But like most submissions in this game, they will never win you a match from a submission. Oh man, never saw that coming in a million years. Be like Ric Flair winning with a figure 4. Now. Oh my gosh, another sick brainbuster. I guess that's her finisher. I don't I don't remember her ever doing a brainbuster like that, but I was hoping she would have the queen suplex, but maybe that was like, here comes the pain. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forget what this is called, but I wish I had her Wikipedia up so I knew. We'll just call it the Queen's Lock. Because it's probably something like that. Submissions never win matches in 2K16. At least when it's AI versus AI. And Becky Lynch showing massive fire here. Taking a huge brainbuster and then that horrific looking submission. Oh boy, here we go. Queen suplex pin. That could be all she wrote here. No, Becky Lynch taking out at 2. Toyota. Not sure where to go from here, but she's keeping on her like the veteran she is. But Becky Lynch is firing back up. These two kind of on an even playing field here. Becky going for the German, but no, Toyota weaseling her way out. Got a strike to the back of the head and a Russian leg sweep. I'm told that anyone, even Manami Toyota, can do a Russian leg sweep. We got a leg lock here applied. Can't remember if that's an Indian death lock or not. It's something Triple H used to do from what I remember. And Becky with a big clothesline. That's why she hasn't done her forearm thing in the corner. That might not be in this game. And another pump handle suplex. Will she pin off of that or will she go for another move? She's dragging her to the center of the ring. 1, 2. Wow. Upset of the century. Holy cow. Becky Lynch going forward, putting the queen herself to bed. I'm honestly, I cannot believe that just happened. Manami Toyota going out on her back, like all good veterans do. Wow. Really, honestly shocked. What can I say? I'm 100% speechless. Manami Toyota, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, regardless of gender. Where you see the Queen suplex, which has finished off so many. But Becky Lynch withstood and endured. I don't know if she has a name for that pump handle suplex, but it's pretty sick. Wow. There you see the 3 count. No question about it. Becky Lynch moving on to the next round. 100% deserved. She stood toe-to-toe with one of the greatest to ever step in the ring. She persevered. Absolutely incredible. So next up we have... We'll do Satomura and Charlotte next. Alright, first up, we have, I believe, this is the setup. Why is there just a giant bridge? Is this a WrestleMania stage? First up, we have Meiko Satomura. She's 37 years old with a 22-year career. To this point, still active. She wrestled mostly for Gaia Japan and Sendai Girls, where she was the champion at least once, from my memory. Also notable, in the U.S., she was last year's King of Trios champions with Cassandra Miyagi and Dash Chisako. They're the first women to ever win that tournament, so she definitely has tournament experience. But that wasn't her first tournament. Back in the 90s, like 93, 94, she competed in the first ever WCW Women's Championship tournament. It was an 8-woman tournament. She did not win. And the belt was pretty much forgotten after a year or two. They tried to bring it back again, which she was also a part of, but she didn't win again either. And there was also a women's cruiserweight belt, but we won't even talk about that. This is, of course, Charlotte. She's 31 years old, so only 6 years younger, but only a 4-year career so far. So much bigger experience gap between the two competitors than in the previous match, comparatively. Charlotte, of course, the PWI Rookie of the Year 2014, the Woman of the Year 2016, NXT Women's Champ, WWE Divas Champ, WWE Raw Women's Champ 4 times. Definitely at her physical peak, though. If she could just get over Sasha Banks' problem, basically. I was about to say, does Charlotte have youth on her side, but really, there's not that much difference between 37 and 31. So, she obviously has the height advantage here. I believe this is... Satomura doesn't always look like this. She usually has long black hair. I think this is a 2015 appearance or something. Almost all of the Japanese women CAWs have at least one alternate attire, which was another really cool thing. Headlock takedown here. Satomura, known for a pretty physical style. She's no nonsense. Likes to get things done. If you've looked for Asuka's matches on YouTube from before WWE, you've probably seen a match with Satomura. And there's one specifically that got me into looking up her stuff, into Satomura's stuff, which was a match where it was all in blue light, and there was a guy playing a shamisen the entire time, like to the beat of their moves, which was really cool. And Asuka at the time was Kana, so if you want to look up Kana versus Meiko Satomura, you'll probably see it. Kana was wearing clown makeup at the time. It was part of her gimmick. So, oh, Charlotte with a massive right hand, sending Satomura to the outside. I'm trying to see what the side of the ring says. It's like, hell yeah, women's wrestling. Okay. This must have been like, I must have made this like just before they started that big campaign of let's not call them divas anymore. Satomura back in the ring. Charlotte right in after her. Turns her around. And a Russian leg sweep. Have it on good authority that anyone, even Charlotte, can do a Russian leg sweep. On a side note, the reason I put these two together is they are the only two in the tournament to have both appeared on WCW television. That's right. Charlotte Flair, when she was like 13, maybe 14, showed up on a random Nitro in 2000 as part of one of the horrific Flair family storylines back in the day. Satomura, wow, that was a really close count there. Yeah, 2.8 in my book. Basically taking the young woman to school is Satomura. Charlotte, she's got some moves up her sleeve, even though she's not wearing any sleeves. She's got some tricks in the bag, we'll say. If she can pull out that moonsault, she's definitely got a chance here, but that would also mean that Satomura lets her get up onto the top rope, which is something she doesn't like from matches that I've seen. Lots of times where she's just straight up pushed people off the turnbuckle to the outside and like pulled them off by their legs from the top rope. Lots of fun stuff like that. Satomura seemingly, gets her in a sleeper hold now. I don't know if being shorter is actually an advantage in that move. I guess her neck and her back would be, oh my god, what a slap. The neck and the back would be wrenched more from a smaller person doing it to you, but here we go. Satomura out of nowhere. Death Valley Bomb. That might be all she wrote already in this matchup. Charlotte, will she fall to Satomura's Death Valley Bomb? No. 2.9 once again. Charlotte just barely eking out of that pin. Oh my god, what a... I don't know if you guys heard that on the stream, but the hit from that knee was just ridiculous. It sounded like a rubber mallet smacking a steak or something. And another sleeper hold. Really wrenching back now. She wants to take the head off of Charlotte Flair. It was also called the Queen, but there's the spear from Charlotte. I don't know if she's done enough damage to Satomura yet for that to really be the end, and of course, Satomura kicking out. Charlotte really didn't put up enough damage in before hitting that move, but that was what I would definitely call a desperation finisher there. Charlotte going for a big kick of some kind. Satomura, roundhouse kick to the midsection, and now knees, again to the head. Charlotte almost falling down. She might be losing consciousness here. She might not know where she is. Went for a huge uppercut, but Satomura caught her at the last second. And we're back to a neck wrench here. Kind of a side headlock. Charlotte with a headlock of her own. And a snapmare. Satomura, though, her strikes are just nasty today. There's a hip toss. Will she get a pin off of a hip toss? Charlotte calling it close, and oh my goodness. I don't know if Charlotte just never recovered from those strikes or that Death Valley Bomb. But Meiko Satomura is moving on. She is your winner in this match. The experience gap was just too wide, excuse me. She won off a hip toss. That's just how it goes sometimes. You never know what's going to end a match in professional wrestling. I thought she might tap out to one of those sleeper holds, honestly. But she just powered out of that sleeper hold right into her spear. But unfortunately, she just hadn't really put in enough work before that on that midsection to really capitalize on that. Sorry if you could hear my phone going off. I might have to pause here and answer that, actually. I'll check my voicemail here in a minute. Satomura showing some personality here. Must be fired up after that victory over such a lauded prodigy, quote-unquote, in Charlotte. she is moving on to face the winner of, let's see, she will be facing the winner of Nanae Takahashi and Victoria. Well, without any further delay, let's head on over to Asuka and Karma. This could be match of the evening here. Could also go on for an hour, you never know. Anyway, this is Asuka. I believe this is like her, pretty much her debut look from what I remember. Her hair is much more two-tone now. And Karma, for those that may have missed her cup of coffee in WWE, was also known as Awesome Kong in TNA. And for those that only watched women's wrestling and from Japan, she was Amazing Kong for a while. I don't know if she still wrestles in Japan. I have her down as semi-retired because I couldn't really find anything after TNA, her recent TNA stint, besides one or two matches. I think she went to like a Oz Academy tribute show of some kind. Or maybe it was Bull Nakano's big send-off kind of thing. Can't remember. I wish I had like a better tail of the tape here, but... And first up we have Asuka. Obviously, if you've been watching WWE, if you've been watching at least NXT, then you know exactly who Asuka is. She's 35 years old and she's 13 years into her career. She's the current NXT Women's Champion and soon to be the longest reigning Women's Champion in WWE history, most likely wrestling history post-Moolah. That's Fabulous Moolah, who had a 10,000-day long reign, which nobody will ever be able to surpass in the modern era. I'm pretty sure she's the longest reigning champion of any gender in WWE in like the last 40 years, almost. Maybe Pedro Morales or I can't remember who else. But she was also an Ironman heavy metalweight champion from DDT 5 times, which is crazy. If you've never heard of the Ironman heavy metalweight champion, please look it up. And also a Joshi Pro openweight champion. We also have here Karma, as I said, an Awesome Kong, Amazing Kong. She's 39 years old, has or had a 15-year career. I have her down as semi-retired. She was the #1 ranked woman according to PWI in 2008, and she's a 2-time Knockouts champion, as well as a Knockout Tag Team champion, I believe, with Hamada. And she can currently be seen on the Netflix series Glow, actually, as the... I don't remember what her full name is, but her nickname is the Welfare Queen, which is obviously terrible, but that's kind of the point of the show, really. This is something I wanted to see as soon as I got into Asuka's work. I think Asuka would be incredible against Karma. Karma tag teamed a lot with people like Aja Kong and Nakano, and basically any kind of monster role you can think of she played. She also appeared in Hustle, which is kind of a cartoon version of WWE in Japan. And she played like a baby doll character. It was pretty cool, but it was pretty cool in the weirdest way possible. That's what I mean. Excuse me. I haven't talked this long in a long time. I wish I could get into the habit of doing videos every week, then this wouldn't be a problem. Karma controlling this match early on, huge super kick. She knows that's not going to finish off the reigning NXT Women's Champion, Asuka. Asuka rolling her over now. Might be setting up. Yep, she's working on the arm, getting her ready for the Asuka lock. Got a hold of the head now, and oh wow, I forget what that's called. It's like a snap, no arm suplex or something weird like that. I'm sure there's like a fancy indie name for it, but trading strikes now. Huge reversals as expected of these two. Massive elbow to the back of the head, but Asuka gets the big woman up with a suplex. I might slip and call it Asuka Kana several times. I'm sorry if I do. It was love at first sight. Like, as soon as I saw my first Asuka match, it was, well, when she was Kana, I went back and found every single thing on YouTube, everything on Dailymotion, everything on Vimeo that I could find, everything on torrents even. And, yeah, just absolutely enthralled by Asuka. I own both of her t-shirts, or two of her t-shirts from WWE so far. I don't know if she's had a third one yet or not, but... Oh yeah, she had the mask one. I never got the mask one. But I have the still undefeated, and her first t-shirt. So, that should tell you what my bias in this match is. Asuka had a pretty interesting later career in Japan. She dominated almost every place she went to, and at one point she was basically considered the most sought-after free agent in wrestling over there, in a way. And she ended up getting so bored of it, from what I recall from one of her blogs that was translated, that she started promoting her own shows, which led to stuff like that match with Meiko Satomura. Huge German suplex off the top rope by Asuka. Karma, not used to getting thrown around quite like that. 2 count, no. Karma has to shake that off a little bit. She's not used to being upside down, I'm sure. Asuka running to the ropes, going up top. Could this be a double stomp? She's prone to that. Huge elbow drop instead. I think that was a wise call. There's the double stomp. Knew it would come at some point. She's absolutely devastating with her kicks and her leg strikes in general. Karma got her up on the shoulders though. Just displaying the power she has within. Goes for the cover after the military press. 1, 2... And Asuka kicks out. Oh, nasty kick to the back. Karma, she's got her sights set on Asuka here. What's she gonna go for? Oh, but Asuka ducking down and getting a mini fireman's carry. Trying to go for a belly-to-belly, but Karma saw it coming and did an STO instead. Karma missed a costly kick there. Asuka with the rear chin lock applied. One of the things I always thought was funny about Asuka was she was actually sponsored by Xbox 360 when she was still wrestling in Japan. One of her other interests is graphic design, as you can probably tell from her outfits. And somehow she did like, I don't know if she did like custom art for Xbox or what, but she was like the first ever officially sponsored wrestler, as far as I know, by a video game company, or a console company anyway. Asuka, big designs. I don't know if she should be going to this well again, but here we go. Massive German suplex off the top once again. Karma. I don't know. Here we go, too. Oh, man. How? That's the question on my mind, ladies and gentlemen. And all those in between. Karma showing resiliency known to most monsters. Oh, she's got an inverted torture rack going here. And she slams her down. Wow. That's not quite the Kong Buster or whatever it's called, but Asuka kicking out at 1. Holy cow. She is probably more frustrated than anything after that. Oh, here we go. The move that she's known for here in the States. Implant Buster. I don't think that will work quite as well on Asuka. But here we go, 2. Oh my gosh. Asuka kicked out and the lights went dim. I don't know if that showed up on stream or not, but because I didn't touch the controller in 15 minutes or whatever, the screen went dark on my TV. Asuka, oh, taking a big foot right in the bush. Center of the ring. Karma can hit one more of those implant busters. It would be the end for Asuka, I think. Not many people kicked out of more than one of those, that's for sure. Hurricane Rana. I'm sorry if that's a Frankensteiner. To me, a Frankensteiner is always off the top rope. So. Oh, Asuka lock. She's got it in. Submissions don't work in 2K16, so she'll have to pin her off of this. Oh, it sounded like Kong slapped the mat pretty hard there, but... Oh, man, what's Asuka going to do here? Will she get the kick in? She has a massive spinning wheel kick that she likes to do. Kong falling to a Russian leg sweep there. Asuka going to the apron here. Springboard elbow. Will she pin? No. Karma sending Asuka to the corner now. Asuka says, no way, Jose. These two still staying on top of each other. Karma's really going to have to start focusing on doing her big moves, kind of like this. Inverted torture rack. If she can hit that implant buster, it might all be over. Asuka now. Oh my, Karma. World's strongest slam. Oh, both these two are out of it. Karma first up to her feet. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, Asuka kicking out just at the last second. And Karma showing frustration. She's not used to having to do so much to such a little person. I don't think. Ooh, I gotta get a drink. Whoa, what on earth was that? Karma moving at lightning speed there. Betraying her size. And Asuka playing possum in the corner there and gets a corner clothesline. Will she go up for the top rope double stomp? No, she's got her eyes set on something else. Will she finally hit that wheel kick? Oh, we got the Asuka lock again. Chicken wing of certain modification there. She'll have to pin her after this because submissions are terrible in this game once again. I'm sorry to anybody that was looking forward to a tap out. Too close to the ropes. Asuka must be pretty exhausted at this point. Usually she's pretty careful about that kind of thing. Karma now capitalizing on Asuka's mistake, sending her to the corner. Will she do a German of her own off the top? Oh, massive overhead hammer blows there. Asuka from behind. A back body drop, but Karma flips out. And a sit-out spine buster with the pin. 1, 2. Oh man, Asuka. 2.99. She decided to taunt right at the last second before getting hit with that move. I don't think that was the smartest decision on her part. She might be still a little bit too cocky. Oh, what a big chin breaker there by Asuka. Karma reversing again into the corner. Asuka's going for the ride up top. Will Karma be doing the German? No, she won't. Asuka, top rope flying drop kick. Reminiscent of Manami Toyota. Asuka backing up now to the corner, taking a bit of a rest. She's not used to dealing with such large opponents either. Oh, and a sleep. I forget what that's called. I think Matt Hardy does that. Oh, and a big forearm shot by Karma. Got her up top. Is this going to be another military press slam? Yes, it is. Gorilla press, whatever you want to call it. Karma going for the pin. She was dazed and confused there, too. Oh, man. Karma didn't get on that pin quick enough. She's really going to have to stay on top of things. There's the wheel kick from Asuka. That could be all she wrote, folks. 1, 2, and 3. Wow. That lived up to expectations. Holy cow. Asuka barely squeaking out the victory. Karma putting on a great showing. Just could not get past the current reigning NXT Women's Champion. Hell of a match. It's a very close fall there. It looked like Kong was going for or Karma, excuse me, was going for another finisher, but Asuka slipped out with that fireman's carry. And here we go with those absolutely ridiculous top rope Germans. I think that shocked Karma more than anything and took a lot out of her in this match. But she held her ground. She definitely made Asuka work for this win. Frustration setting in there on Karma's face. And the wheel kick that sealed the deal. And Asuka moves on to the next round. She will be facing Becky Lynch. Incredible match. I actually got into that quite a lot, as you could probably tell from my commentary, but man. It's kind of funny because I'm so used to, I've watched New Legacy as often as I can, New Legacy Inc., and it's easy to forget that you can actually get like seriously entertaining wrestling out of these games. I'm so used to seeing characters like glitch out into the ceiling and stuff that you forget that sometimes a pretty good match can come your way watching this stuff. So in the semi-final, we have Becky Lynch versus Asuka. And then we'll have Satomura versus the winner of this next match, which is Victoria and Nanae Takahashi. If you've seen any recent or modern Japanese women's wrestling GIFs or videos online, and you've seen a woman absolutely kicking people's heads off and otherwise just being horrifically nasty to people, it was probably Nanae Takahashi in this blonde look here. She ain't the lady to mess with. Wow. Okay. So, I think that's based off of the fact that she came back to TNA once where she was in this gimmick where she wore a motorcycle helmet to the ring. So I think that's why that entrance is like it is. She does like motorcycles. So, this is Victoria, also known as Terra or Terra Rising, when she very first came to TNA. She's 46 years old, 17 years into her career, possibly semi-retired. Doesn't look like she's done very much in the last couple of years. She did have an appearance last year in the King of Trios as part of Team Original Women's Revolution, I believe it was, with Jazz and Ivory, I think. Which is about right. Victoria, if she debuted today, I think she would kick so much ass. Like, she would definitely be the star of the women's division right now. I finally figured out, I remembered 3XC just now is like the short form of Triple Crown, like 3 times crown. Yeah, I don't know, I guess I thought I was clever, but this is Nanae Takahashi. She's 38 years old, has a 21-year career, so a bit more experience and has the youth edge. She's a product of the All Japan Women's Training Academy. All Japan Women's Champion, Joshi Pro Openweight Champion, Stardom Champion, All Japan Women's International Champion, which is like their top belt, also known as the WWWA title. She found Stardom, and she's currently running her own promotion called Seedling. I think this is her 3rd promotion. I can't remember what her very first one, but Stardom is obviously the one most people who've looked into Japanese wrestling will have heard of. They're pretty controversial because they do women's wrestling, but they also do a lot of like gravure photo shoots and stuff, which is kind of a big no-no in the 90s for women's wrestlers to do that kind of stuff. Or at least it was a faux pas. It's not like you would be blackballed for doing it, but speaking of blackballed, Nanae Takahashi kind of left Stardom over the fact that a friend of hers got blackballed, rightfully so, from the industry. If you've ever seen a match where a woman just went nuts and went into a shoot fight mode and beat the hell out of another woman to where her face was 4 times as big as it was supposed to be, that was Yoshiko. And Yoshiko, the match was called Sei-san match, which is like nasty match, basically, where she, for whatever reason, she just opened fire on Aki Asakawa and broke her orbital bone, her nose, and her cheekbone from punching and hitting her so much, to the point where she had to have emergency surgery, and she was stripped. Yoshiko was stripped of the title at the time, and basically blackballed. And apparently Takahashi had a problem with that, and she formed her new promotion, Seedling, and on the very first show, Yoshiko came back. And so I'm not really happy with Takahashi after that, but it seems like that's the only popular place that Yoshiko has been accepted in recently. She hasn't been back to Stardom, she hasn't been in Sendai, she hasn't been in Ice Ribbon, to my knowledge, so what was that? Takahashi might be playing possum here. Excuse me. Try to mute that a little bit for YouTube. I don't know if that'll work. Victoria seems to be controlling a little bit here. Slamming her head down. Victoria had a pretty strange rise in the industry. What a huge float over. Great agility by Victoria. She was inspired to get into wrestling because of China, who is unfortunately no longer with us. And she went in just to Southern California wrestling scene and started with UPW, massive DDT, by the way. And she kind of had like an authority figure role there, and she impressed the WWE officials that did tryouts there once in a while. And she was brought in as, no joke, one of Godfather's hoes. In fact, she was the head hoe. She was the hoe that the Godfather turned on when he joined Right to Censor. And big pin here, Takahashi trying to end it early, but Victoria's not going to have any of that. And I believe she went, Victoria, I think she went to Memphis, back when Memphis was still a feeder system for WWE. And eventually came back, of course, in the super jealous rival of Trish Stratus gimmick, I guess, which was way underrated. I thought it was the most interesting thing on WWE television at the time. Oh, spin out sidewalk slam. Signature move of Victoria. Can she pin off of that? No. I don't think she ever has. It's kind of like Matt Hardy's side effect. I think he's maybe pinned someone with that one time. Oh, but here we go. Takahashi tried to get something started there. Victoria with the Widowmaker. That Gory Guerrero-inspired neckbreaker. 1, 2, and Takahashi kicking out at the last second. Victoria not used to that move, not sealing the deal for her. And a penalty kick to the back. Really needs to stay on top of Takahashi. When Takahashi gets angry, better watch out. Like I said, oh dear. Inverted pile driver with a pin. 1, 2. Inverted kneeling pile driver. It's not the kind of thing you just do at the beginning of a match. You kind of have to want to hurt somebody to do that, I think. Oh, and what was that called? What did Beth Phoenix, what did she call that? Oh gosh, she's setting up now. Looked like she might have been going for an Emerald Flosion or something. Victoria wisely sneaking out of it, and a face slam to the mat. Victoria, signature move here, standing moonsault. That was certainly one of her more popular moves. Referee out of position too, but Takahashi still had to use pretty much most of her body weight to kick out of that. She might be running out of steam here. Takahashi not quite sure what she wants to do. And pulling the hair and just wrenching the neck of Victoria down to the mat. Got a pin. 1, 2. Oh my, that was actually really close. Sorry if I sound like Michael Cole saying, oh my. I feel like I've said that way more than I should. But, it's okay. It's okay. Wrenching the neck of Victoria here. Probably a smart move. I remember Victoria having some neck issues. As well as that knee. She's attacking the knee big time. With that elevated figure 4. Victoria, though, reversing. Now it's got a inverted figure 4 applied. She lets go. Takahashi targeting that knee is a wise move. Obviously the knee brace is basically an invitation to attack that body part there. Victoria setting her up. Will it be another Widowmaker? No, a powerbomb, but Takahashi reverses into an X Factor. Takahashi now sizing up Victoria. What could she be planning here? Got her up. Emerald Flosion. Could that be all she wrote for Victoria? Oh my. 2.9 at least. That was close, ladies and gentlemen. She may as well have just dropped her on her head, basically, and Victoria was still able to kick out. Takahashi near the ropes. And a Vader bomb there. Whatever that, I can't remember what that's called. Slingshot body press. That's what we're going to call it. Takahashi up top. Victoria center of the ring. Body splash off the top rope. And Takahashi capitalized though. She hits an elbow drop. Really should have gone for the pin there. You really don't want to let Victoria or any opponent have any time to breathe. As Victoria knows good and well, going for the pin once again. If it were a case of you could only pin so many times, that would be one thing, but you can pin as much as you want in the squared circle. I don't think people utilize that often enough. People like Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle were really the only ones to really do that in the modern era. William Regal, of course, another name there. Victoria, I believe, just did the side slam again. Very close call for Nanae Takahashi. I think that's right. Big elbows by Victoria, though. She's hurting big time. Takahashi smells blood. She's going for it. 2 shoulder blocks. And a proto bomb. Is this the end for Victoria? Oh God, no, not again. Inverted, kneeling pile driver. Ref really slow to the cover there, but it didn't matter in the end. Wow. You see that sick smile of the night, Takahashi. Well, Victoria gave it a valiant effort, but Takahashi, with the youth on her side and more experience and arguably more big-time match experience and tournament experience especially, which I unfortunately didn't get to, really just won the day for Takahashi here. You see the Widowmaker, or is it Widow's Peak? I'm sorry if I called that move wrong earlier. Widow's Peak, obviously, because Victoria has a Widow's Peak. I think I called it the Widowmaker earlier, but oh well. I think in TNA they call that like the Spider's Wrath or something like that. The Tarantula's Wrath, I don't know. For whatever reason in TNA they thought it would be cool if she walked around with a tarantula. And it never did anything, really. You see the pin. Nanae Takahashi advancing to face Meiko Satomura in the semifinals. Takahashi really won over the crowd with that match, I think, showing her dominance of the popular American wrestler. Most people are going to start knowing names like Kairi Hojo, who is now Kairi Sane, or Io Shirai, and names, of course, like Asuka out of Japan, and Manami Toyota, for anybody that watches more than WWE, is pretty well known. But if you really want to see some hardcore stuff, you really got to watch some of Takahashi's matches. She lays in her kicks so hard. So, coming up, we have our final 3 matches, with the first 2 setting up the third. Of course, we're going to give Takahashi a break. So we're going to have Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Becky Lynch having the longest break out of anybody in this match. I believe I set, wear and tear on for this tournament, so Asuka went through quite a lot in her match, but has she had enough time to recuperate? We're about to find out. Hopefully this will be wrapped up by 4 o'clock Central Time, so I can watch the royaliest of Rumbles, which will be on www.twitch.tv/NewLegacyInc, all one word, lowercase. And they will be doing between tonight and tomorrow night, they will be doing 31 Royal Rumble matches from 30 different video games. And the 31st Royal Rumble will be the winner of all the previous 30 Royal Rumbles. So it was really fun last time they did it, but they did it all in a 24-hour marathon, and this time they're spacing it out a little bit more because they were pretty out of it by the end. We have Becky Lynch, upset of the night by far, beating Manami Toyota, in my opinion. Showed great fire, as she always does. But she's going to need every bit of it against the current reigning NXT Women's Champion. The title that eluded Becky Lynch. She's considered one of the 4 horsewomen, yet she was the only one to never win the Women's Championship down in NXT. So I'll have to see if that is a tactic that Asuka relies on, maybe egging her on while she's beating her up. She has the title she can never have. Though Asuka's got some problems of her own after that match with Karma, man. Karma really made her definitely work for it. Let's see how well these two mash up here. I'm sure Becky Lynch has been looking forward to a match like this. She'll unfortunately have to wait until at least after SummerSlam. I don't think Asuka's going to SmackDown, though, unfortunately. It's pretty much a given at this point that Asuka's losing at TakeOver, right? I mean, I want her to hold the championship until WrestleMania, but that's a selfish thing on my end. I'd rather Asuka lose to Nikki Cross than Ember Moon. Or even Kairi Sane whenever she comes in. I just don't think Ember Moon has the it factor to carry the women's division in NXT. And Asuka is kind of the only one that does right now. And that's a shoot. Becky Lynch. Kick there. Wonder if she will focus on hitting some of the same spots that Karma was hitting in her earlier match. Asuka not taking that suplex for a second. Irish whip now, and a clothesline to Becky Lynch. Kind of softening up that neck. Both these two like to target the arms of their opponents. Becky has the disarmer, and Asuka is spilling to the outside over the top rope. That didn't feel good. Asuka, of course, has the Asuka lock. Hard to fight out of that move if you have a weak arm. And a Hurricane Rana on the floor. Becky Lynch. That could not have been good. Big slaps now, and a humongous kick. Decapitation kick almost. And an enziguri to boot. Man, Asuka definitely taking Becky Lynch seriously after that huge upset victory over Manami Toyota. Becky might have been going for the Exploder there. And we get a reverse DDT from Asuka. Asuka hits the big wheel kick. She pinned Karma off that move. Will she get Becky Lynch here? Referee out of position. 1, 2. But no, Becky Lynch kicking out. Asuka, she knows how powerful that move can be. She's very disturbed that didn't take Becky out. She's got her in the Asuka lock now. And she taps. Wow, making quick work of Becky Lynch. Toyota must have done more damage than we realized. And Asuka moving on to the final. Wow. I must say, as surprised as I was at Becky Lynch beating Manami Toyota, this might actually surprise me even more. As big a fan of Asuka as I am, I did not see that coming. Specifically a submission victory in 2K16 more than Asuka really showing what it means to be one of the longest reigning champions in North American wrestling history. Will she keep it past TakeOver? There's always a chance, but I don't know. I have faith, but I don't know. I have faith at the same time. But that doesn't matter. We're here for this random tournament on a Friday night in August for a much more important event, the Fighting Back charity event known as the Royal Rumble-thon, put on by New Legacy Inc. She didn't get much of a break there. I figured Becky Lynch having the biggest breakout of anybody, even after that upset, she still could have put in more effort than 6 minutes or whatever that was. But Meiko Satomura is definitely the one to gain here, that's for sure. Of course, I'm not claiming to be an expert on Japanese women's wrestling at all, because there are people who are way more hardcore than I will ever be, especially on 420 Chan's Woo wrestling board. Their Joshi General thread is crazy, and I love it, because that's where I get most of my info. Satomura with a pretty confident strut going into this matchup against Nanae Takahashi. And why not? I mean, she beat one of the hottest women's wrestling champions of the moment in Charlotte. And she got a pretty long break. Three matches went by, technically. If you count Asuka and Becky Lynch as a full match. But, I think she's ready, and Takahashi better be ready for Meiko Satomura. That was a weird grin. They need to take that out in 2K18. Take the weird, like, random grinning and stuff. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze right now. Excuse me. These two are only 1 year apart from my memory. And as such, they only have 1 year apart as far as career experience. So they're pretty evenly matched up, not really a youth advantage or an experience advantage here. Nice collar and elbow tie up. Takahashi with the side headlock. Nakamura pushing it to the ropes. Satomura pushing it to the ropes. I don't think Nakamura would be ashamed at all of that comparison, though. Satomura, quite the, not necessarily strong style, but certainly nobody to mess with, that's for sure. Not to steal Victoria's catchphrase, but wrist lock from behind. Satomura going for a big back body drop. Next to the ropes, though, rolling her over. I thought she might have been going for a the thing. La Magistral. Go behind Satomura. What's she planning here? Just a textbook wrestling takedown. And a big knee right in between the shoulder blades. Takahashi begging off, but you're not going to get any mercy from Meiko Satomura. Takahashi with the chin break. Sends her to the ropes. What's she going for here? Oh, huge missed drop kick there. Oh, but she makes up for it with another one. Right to the side of the head of Meiko Satomura. Pretty fairly matched at this point, which is surprising considering Takahashi wrestled maybe 10 minutes ago at this point. Big, heavy move here. Canadian backbreaker, also known as an Argentina backbreaker, I think. Takahashi going up top, is she going to hit that big body splash again? Here we go, Superfly splash, but she missed. Satomura got out of the way. She saw that coming. She was definitely watching backstage. Now we got a cross arm breaker. Takahashi not even trying to grip her other hand to keep that from happening. Big scoop slam by Takahashi though in retaliation. Rolls her over. She might be looking to work for the knees a little bit, but otherwise she really needs to be focusing on some knockout power moves. And a rope break. Satomura quick to release that hold. I don't know if that was the smartest choice. Satomura though, picking her up. What was she going to? Some kind of lucha arm drag by Takahashi. And a pin off of that. That was ill-advised. I think I would have just gone straight back to punching at this point. Oh god, nasty knee to the back of the head by Takahashi. This is where her mean streak starts to show up. If she can just stay on top of Satomura, but as I say that, Satomura back with a big butterfly suplex. Also known as a double arm suplex, I believe. And a gator roll back and forth into a crossface. Also known as a bank statement at the moment in WWE. Oh god, huge knee to the face. Really just not letting Takahashi breathe here. Elbow to the side of the head, headlock. Bring her to the center of the ring. And an arm wringer. And working the elbow now. Making sure she can't pick her up for that Emerald Flosion. Satomura eyeing Takahashi up. Takahashi out on her feet, but no, she might have been playing possum there. Takahashi gets Satomura up. Emerald Flosion. She's close to the rope. She's got to drag her away. Can she capitalize? She's got the pin. 1, 2, and no. Satomura. Takahashi pulling out all the stops here, but she went to the well too soon, I think, in that move. Satomura had really been working and wearing down Takahashi with strikes and all kinds of suplexes before even thinking about doing any of her signature stuff. If she hits that Death Valley bomb, it's definitely over, I think. Big elbows to get out of that grapple by Takahashi, but Satomura right back on top of her. Like I said, no nonsense, takes charge. That's Satomura in a nutshell. Takahashi taking time to mouth off. That's the worst thing you can do against Satomura. Saying that though, Takahashi taking things to the outside. Oh, but Satomura getting out of that suplex, that might have been a game changer there. Takahashi smartly getting into the ring. I'd hate to see what Satomura could do to Takahashi on the outside at this point. And a big slam to the mat, grabbing what little hair is on top of the head of Satomura. 1, 2, and no. There's no way that was going to do it. Takahashi just keeping Satomura in check, trying to slow the pace of the match down. Got her up for another scoop slam probably, but Satomura counters her way out and a big back body drop. Maybe even a belly-to-back suplex there. I'm always kind of fuzzy on the difference between those two. Takahashi might be firing up here. A couple of slaps. Brings her to the center of the ring and a big front press slam. I keep calling it the world's strongest slam, but I'm sure there's a real name for it somewhere. Wrenching the neck, slowing the pace down, trying to take Satomura's momentum away from her. He's eyeing her up now. Might be looking for another Emerald Flosion. Got her up, and again, dropping her right dead in the center of the ring. Takahashi taking way too long to cover. 1, 2, and Satomura kicking out 2.5. Takahashi just could not get on that pin fast enough. She might have been dazed and confused. She might be running out of steam big time here. Whipping her down with a snapmare, and we get a surfboard stretch. Knee in the back, right between the shoulder blades. Satomura fighting out of it though, with a big elbow to the midsection. Satomura now, tilt-a-whirl slam. Takahashi could be in trouble here. Here's the sleeper hold applied to Charlotte twice in their previous match. Takahashi has a very slight height advantage. But in the sleeper hold, as we discussed before, that might not be such a good thing. These two reversing now like crazy, taking out each other's knees, but Satomura gets the better of it with a big back body drop. Almost a dangerous drop. 1, 2, and Takahashi kicks out. Satomura taking a bit of a rest there, I don't know. She's been really good about staying on top of Takahashi here. But wait a minute, she might have been just getting her energy up, and the Death Valley bomb into the corner. Takahashi is out. This could be all she wrote. I've said that way too many times in this tournament. This could be it for Nanae Takahashi. But no, Takahashi kicking out of the Death Valley bomb. What is it going to take to get Takahashi out of this tournament is what Satomura is thinking. Satomura, excuse me. Up top now, what could Satomura be thinking of here? Top rope, superplex, right into the center of the ring. Satomura quick to the cover. Referee way out of position. 1, 2, and now 2.9. Takahashi, where does she get it all? How could she be fighting still? After that fantastic match with Victoria and just getting smashed to pieces here by Meiko Satomura. Takahashi though, she was trying to mount a comeback, but Satomura captures her with a DDT there. And another sleeper hold. Referee really getting in there. And no. Satomura, wow. Takahashi firing up. No, Satomura once again on top of things here. 1, 2. Takahashi kicking out once again. Satomura really starting to feel the pace of this match now. Takahashi sending her into the corner. Takahashi's looking hurt. She's really slow in the uptake here. Got her in the corner again. Throws her into the turnbuckle. Into a huge German halfway across the ring. Takahashi. What will it take to put away Satomura at this point? She's mounting her comeback here though with an arm drag. Go behind. Picking her up and working the knee now. Cover 1, 2. No. Guess maybe she's working that knee so that she can't get hit with another Death Valley bomb, but I don't know. I'd still be going for the strikes at this point. Oh, here we go. She pinned Victoria with this move. Inverted pile driver. 1, 2. No, Satomura. That was the first one in this match. It took 2 to put Victoria away. Both these women really just all using everything for this match. I don't know if that's wise going up against Asuka in the finals. You got to save something. Takahashi with a massive textbook suplex. Pulling her over now. Gonna start working the arm. So she can't lift her up, I guess. Oh, will this be the third time in this match? Emerald Explosion. Takahashi quick on the cover this time. 1, 2. 3. Takahashi pulling it out against Mako Satomura. Wow. Halfway into that match, I was certain Satomura was picking up this victory. But Takahashi hung in there. She slowed the pace down when it mattered. She hung out. She persevered. And she overcame Mako Satomura. Wow. Take nothing away from Satomura though. Man, she did everything she could. She hit the Death Valley bomb. She did 2 sleepers. Everything that won her first round match, and it just wasn't enough. Even in the second round, when Takahashi really didn't have that much of a break. The fans are ecstatic. Just the big knife-edge chops to the face by Takahashi, showing those cruel strikes that she's known for. Wow. That was a much better semi-final match than Asuka and Becky Lynch. Oh my goodness. And there's your winner, Nanae Takahashi, Nanae Takahashi. Going on to face one of her biggest rivals and friends, really, in Japanese women's wrestling, Asuka. Though I don't know if Asuka is quite the same person as the last time they met. Takahashi really has had the harder road here, so it'll be interesting to see if she can outlast and overcome the NXT Women's Champion. Hey, Big Paul, what's up? And here we go, your tournament final. No stalling. Let's get right to it. I am enjoying this way more than I ever dreamed of, honestly. Hopefully Mixer doesn't fail me and I'm able to download this and actually post it on YouTube. It might go up unedited, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited about the Royal Rumble Marathon because in the last year they've picked up a lot of contacts and friends, and that's paying dividends now on Twitter and social media. Mae Young Classic competitor Dakota Kai, actually a friend of New Legacy. She's one of their big dogs to watch in wrestling. And also Rosemary, is that her name? Sorry, I don't watch TNA very much. But I think that's her name. My New Legacy slip. I'm gonna just find it. Asuka coming in first here. Almost said second. I can't count. Takahashi, we gave her as much of a break as we could, letting her come out second, but it might not be enough. Asuka might just steamroll her again. Yeah, Rosemary from TNA also retweeted the Royal Rumble Marathon, which was really cool to see. So yeah, hopefully next year it'll be even bigger, and maybe they'll be able to have some people on. I think Vince Russo was actually on last year for a little while, which was pretty funny. That's what we're playing for here today. It doesn't really mean much at this moment. That's what we're playing for today. Asuka, rare indigo. Takahashi, her cocky usual self. I don't know if that's wise to anger the beast that is Asuka. Oh, Takahashi, though, powering Asuka into the corner. Will we get a clean break? Referee having to intervene here. And we actually do. That's surprising. Oh, Asuka kicking both the ref and Takahashi. The ref being pretty lenient there. This is a tournament final after all. Asuka getting a nice hit in there at the end of that side headlock. Go behind now by Asuka. Wrestling takedown into another side headlock. Really wanting to wear down Takahashi just that much more. To really get this match over with as soon as possible. Asuka, I think, definitely paid attention to that last match and knew that she just has to stay on top of Takahashi, and she can't let her get any momentum. Big clothesline, whiffed for the most part, but just caught enough to knock Takahashi down. Hurricane Rana. Will Asuka end this match in the same fashion as she did with Becky Lynch, with a tap out from the Asuka lock. Trading moves here. Asuka with a big kick. Takahashi, though, big slap in return. These two trading blows, but Asuka getting the better of it. And a snap suplex. Oh man, just really stomping on that elbow and the joints of that arm. Set up for the Asuka lock here. Asuka may have been going for a wheel kick, but Takahashi fighting back. Asuka says no way. And now we're getting a single leg Boston Crab. One of the most dangerous moves in wrestling. But Takahashi quickly gets out of that. She knows it's no man's land from there if Asuka really cinches that in. Oh, big shoulder block. We saw those huge shoulder tackles against Victoria, I believe. Big wheel kick from Asuka. Is it over already? 1, 2. No, Takahashi kicking out at the last second. Asuka can't believe it. That kick has won so many matches for her. And a Russian leg sweep. Couldn't have a tournament final without a Russian leg sweep. Arm drag. Takahashi now big strikes, but Asuka is not going to take that for very long. Takahashi with the fireman's carry of her own. Setting up for a big suplex here. Textbook vertical suplex in the corner. Takahashi has a lot of pride in her technique and ability, but she might let that show a little too much, especially when you're in the ring with a champion who's held her belt for almost 500 days. Asuka, big elbow there. And a big brain buster from Asuka. I thought she might have been showing off by doing a vertical suplex of her own. She's covering now. 1, 2, no. Takahashi trying to shake out the cobwebs. And Asuka right back on top. Takahashi now went for the big scoop slam again, but Asuka hitting a reverse DDT after sneaking out of that. Sneaking. Ooh, Takahashi with some really hardcore, almost kidney shots there. Oh, and Asuka with a kidney shot of her own. These two really brutalizing the midsections of each other. Oh, and a big combo there by Asuka. And a kick. Another one. Super combo. That reminded me of WCW Revenge too. I spent many weeks learning the combo system in Revenge, only to lose to the spear so many times. Forget that though, Takahashi, the move that won it all for her. Kneeling, inverted, pile driver, no. Asuka kicking out of that move, but it looked like it took its toll there. Takahashi not sure what to do against her rival, Asuka. Setting her up top. Could we see another top rope vertical suplex? Asuka kicking her away. And a huge flying drop kick. Asuka going up top again. Will we see the flying double stomp here? No, Takahashi getting up and Asuka thinking better of doing that and just taking a breather there. Wise move. Asuka with a kick. Takahashi with 2 kicks. And a big enziguri. Sending Asuka into the corner. Takahashi taking a breather now. These two women must be worn down. This has been a really tough night for both of them. Both had really incredible matches. Asuka, of course, being fairly dominant as usual. Went for the Hurricane Rana, but Takahashi had it scouted and hit the powerbomb right in the middle of the ring. She couldn't capitalize again, though. That's been a problem here. Takahashi with her first Emerald Flosion of the match. Right on the star in the center of the ring. Ref slow to the count. 1, 2, and Asuka kicking out. Takahashi can't believe it. She should know better. It took 2 or 3 of those to take out Satomura. Takahashi slow to stay on Asuka, and Asuka making her pay for it here. Oh, got her in a pile driver powerbomb position now, and a sit-out powerbomb with a pin. Referee completely out of position, but still a 2 count. Takahashi really had to put her whole body into that kick out that time. Oh, but here we go, double leg takedown. Takahashi getting fired up, trying to get the crowd behind her. What's she gonna look for here? Is she gonna hit another Emerald Flosion? No. Running shoulder tackle. And another one. And here we go, Proto Bomb. She's too close to the ropes for a pin, but Takahashi decides to pick her up. Here we go, the move that won her, got her to this final. Inverted kneeling pile driver, 1, 2, no, Asuka. 2.8, 2.9. Takahashi making sure she stays on Asuka now. I think she's taking it seriously here. Asuka though, that arm drag, hip toss, judo toss of some kind. Takahashi with the strike. She's got her up. Oh, and Asuka reverses into a lucha arm drag. Oh man, Asuka sizing her up. Will she hit the wheel kick of her dreams here? No, she's going for the Asuka lock immediately. She's got it cinched in. The ref right there, ready to call it if she taps. Will she tap? No. Asuka lets go. Will she pin? Dragging her away from the ropes just to be sure. Ref way out of position. 1, 2, and Takahashi. I think Asuka really should have held on to that move a little bit longer, but she might be too tuckered out to keep it cinched in. Asuka, Russian leg sweep. And a kick for good measure. Takahashi now throwing her over the top rope. Will things spill to the outside here? And a big punch. Just smacking the champion right off of the apron there. Asuka back up though. Takahashi, I'm pretty sure had bad thoughts going on. Asuka getting it back into the ring. She wants to win it right here, right now, as soon as possible, I think. Ooh, Takahashi fighting back, though. Oh, Asuka with these chin breakers. Takahashi's not going to be able to talk, I don't think, after this match. Oh, and a big knee into the corner. We saw her do that against Karma earlier. Oh, and a diving elbow drop from the middle rope. Asuka taking a quick breather there. Talking some trash, I believe, to Takahashi. Wrenching on the neck. Really working it. to soften her up for another Asuka lock, probably, which will most definitely be coming soon if Takahashi doesn't get back into the swing of things here. And like I predicted, Asuka lock in the center of the ring. Ref is right there, staring into the eyes of Takahashi. Can she hold out? She holds out. Asuka might not have had it cinched in as much as she wanted. 1, 2. No, Takahashi kicking out. Asuka, not sure what she's thinking there, pinning right after that move. It would have been better to set up for the kick, in my opinion. Takahashi with a kick of her own. But no, Asuka with a leg takedown there. Leg trip takedown. Asuka sizing her up. And once again, going to the Asuka lock. Will Takahashi tap out? This is number 3 here. Oh, but no, Takahashi reversing out of the Asuka lock. That's the first time we've seen that happen here tonight. Asuka going for that snap suplex again, but Takahashi, she might have Asuka's number now. She's fired up. Momentum is in her favor. Emerald Flosion number 2. Right in the center of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Nanae Takahashi beating Asuka in the final. Wow. I cannot believe it. Asuka has been defeated. In WWE right now, she is undefeated and has actually gone on a longer undefeated streak than Goldberg did. So this is a massive achievement for Takahashi. Asuka just couldn't get that Asuka lock set in the way she wanted to, I guess. She let go of it 3 times. She let go of it twice, excuse me, and Takahashi had it scouted on the last one, reversing, and that really set it up for the final stretch there where Takahashi was able to capitalize, and here we go with the Emerald Flosion. Dropping her straight on the back of her head. Thank you, fan with the blue sign. 2 and 3. Wow. Fantastic match. Takahashi is the winner of this random tournament on a Friday in August, right before the Royal Rumble Marathon. Please check it out, guys. It's for a good cause. It's called Fighting Back, to support the Canadian Cancer Research Society, I believe. Just a great stream marathon that's going to be happening all weekend. Twitch.tv/New Legacy Inc. as well as, well, when you tune into them, they'll have links to everybody else that's streaming. So, wow, what a final. What a tournament. Fantastic. I haven't been this fired up by commentary in at least a decade, I don't think. So, yeah, super excited with the outcome of that. It felt like a real tournament, in a way. So, Takahashi overcoming Victoria, Satomura, and Asuka. Arguably the hardest road anybody would have had. Except for maybe Becky Lynch. Incredible. Well, I've been POD7, and thank you for watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know if you want to see more like this. I would absolutely love to get 2K18 and do a weekly stream if that was something somebody would be interested in. But otherwise, that's all for now. And look forward to a very long comic book video coming soon. And yeah, have a great week, great weekend. And if you're going back to school, do your best. Just relax and study and believe in yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much. and just hang in there. This has been POD7, and I'm signing out.